Hello, it's me Pavlo with your pleasantly tactile daily dose of Ukrainian accent. And today we are going to talk about yet another player released by FIO in the affordable segment Snowsky Echo. Last year, FIO managed to reach a wider audience with their Echo Mini. They reached community outside typical audiophile scope, and it appeared that a lot of people really want just a simple music player that basically play music from their SD cards, and that's it. So Echo Mini became a huge hit and big success, and FIO decided to release a bunch of new affordable players. I already covered one of them, Snowsky Disc, that focuses on the touch interface. But here we have an improvement over the original Echo Mini formula, but executed on a better level with metal shape, Cyrus Logic 43198 DEC chip. It's slightly more expensive. It's priced about $70. But what else do we have with this player? Let's have a closer look and let's find out. Box is compact and made in a typical Snowsky bright style of graphics. You can see that I have an orange color, but player available in plenty of different color versions. So you can find the ones that will suit your tastes most of all. As usual, not much information printed on the box, but it's typical for FIO. They don't use the box as a media for some specs. Inside you'll get player itself and underneath box with accessories, but I suspect that accessory set will be limited. Yeah. So basically, of all accessories, you will get a USB Type-A to USB Type-C charging cable. That's it. And FIO already prepared some cases that you can purchase separately. You can either get a simple silicone case if you want to preserve the outlook of the player, or if you want better protection and more stylish look, huge variety of colors of leather cases are available. Actually, both options are pretty nice and works really well with player, so it's a matter of taste. But subjectively, I'd probably prefer to carry it without any case at all. Audio cassette inspired retro look of the original Echo Mini was one of its strongest selling points. And for the regular Echo, FIO continue exploiting this design, but this time it's made of aluminum. And of course, it makes everything more, I don't know, not solid, but more pleasant. So it feels great in hand. It has a perfect size, in my opinion, so you can see it's easily fitting into palm of your hand, and being not too small and not too big, providing really great ergonomics. It's created to be used in the horizontal orientation, which is a pretty interesting departure from traditional vertically oriented players. But probably it also makes sense. It's really well built, nothing is shaking, nothing is loose. Here you can see on the back side they played around the plastic insert. They needed this plastic to add here a Bluetooth antenna, probably, but they stylized it like a cassette opening from the past. So what we have here? Hole for the lanyard, micro SD slot, USB Type-C for charging and other usages. And speaking about charge, it works I don't know, usually for me from 11 to 14 and a half hours, depending on the output, gain, and so on. With balanced out and higher gain, you'll get less work time. With low gain and single-ended out, it will be more. On top, we have buttons and a lot of them. So FIO wisely thought that if they don't put sensor screen in the device, it's better to give user more buttons. So we have separate on-off, navigation and volume buttons, play, pause, menu, and go back. On the front, we have a screen. It's not some huge and edge-to-edge screen. Oh, I turned it off actually, so let me turn it on meanwhile. So, nice animation, pretty fast boot because it uses own operation system. So you can see borders of the screen are pretty big, but at the same time screen is clean and visible enough to provide all information about the playback. It remains pretty visible even under the bright sun, and of course few carefully crafted interface around this vintage tape-like aesthetics. So even menu is made like a tape, and when you navigate menu items, tape is rotating back and forth. So in terms of design, I think it's yet another win for the company. They have a pretty dense lineup in the budget segment now. They have Echo Mini, regular Echo, and Disc, all three offering compact size and pretty strong aesthetics. And they have Echo Nano in works, which most likely also will become a bestseller. Firmware here is absolutely similar to Echo Mini. Most likely they use same CPUs, and that means that small issues that were present on the Echo Mini addressed here. Menu consists of 6 parts. The first one is file browser. You can browse internal memory and SD card. For me, it offers to scan media library, and unfortunately, as a typical for many players, it doesn't preserve sort order in many cases, so you need fat sorter or some similar utility if you want to get files in order. Then goes media library, typical now playing, all songs, favorites, artists, albums, genres, folder navigation, and media library update here. Then now playing screen. To go to the screen, I will show you now playing screen later. Then built-in text reader. Not sure why it's necessary, but probably some can find it useful. Then music settings. You can select visualization style when music is playing out of 4. You can limit volume, select repeating and going between folders, then equalizer with some presets, filter selection, as usual, doesn't do much. 2 levels of gain, fast forward function, volume buttons. You can select this button is increasing volume and this decreasing, or vice versa. You can select lyrics displaying, channel balance, music style. So we are going in circle. And in the system settings, we have Bluetooth. Unfortunately, here supported only SBC, but actually it makes sense because it plays perfectly, for example, with EH11 and many other affordable headphones. Screen settings, timeout and brightness, shutdown settings, power off and power saving, date and time, interface style, white or black, then language, USB audio charging mode, information, supported audio formats, reset settings, and formatting internal and external memory. And now let me select some track. So just go for the first available one, and here is now playing screen. You can select this visualization that reminds tape. Then you can see album cover if you'd like, and extra information. Another option is VU meter. It's a bit cartoonish, but it does its job. And also you can select kind of graphical visualization. Also looks pretty nice, so depending on your taste, you can select which fit you most. So besides the sorting order, all other things in the firmware works pretty nice, and it does main job playing music pretty well. And of course, let's talk about the sound. As you can see, I put EH11 on the table. It's just because I really like how these two gadgets work together during daily commute, or some kind of stroll in the park, or when I'm relaxing at home. But of course, I will describe the sound based on the headphones output with wired headphones, because wireless headphones have their own DAC and amplification, and player works just as a transport. But here FIO used a good DAC chip, Cyrus Logic 43198. It combines a good technicality with slightly emphasized low frequencies that adds a bit of extra body and weight to the sound. Not too much, so it's not some kind of bassy player or something like that. If you want to sound it bassy, you have equalizer presets, and you have a custom preset where you can adjust frequencies by the different frequency bands. But in the default settings, bass goes pretty deep. It's well controlled. It has nice resolution, average amount of small nuances, and pretty good texturing, but also a hint of additional weight that slightly highlights the instruments in the low frequencies and adding a bit more body for the instruments that goes low. Also, sometimes for really low male vocals, you're getting a hint of extra weight too. But let me find some examples. I didn't prepare them in advance, so unsorted, it's where different high resolution test tracks lives for me. So here it, for example, from the Dr. Chesky headphones demonstration disc, it's Alexis Cole, Whip Pour Wheel, or how it should be pronounced, and it has really nice instrumental track and a bit of extra body highlight instruments here, and building great contrast with Alexis vocal, and this contrast sounds really tasty. Of course, it's not super textured bass of expensive players, but at the same time, for such a small device, results are pleasant. Mids are balanced, they are natural, and you're getting pretty good amount of small nuances, and at the same time they are not overwhelming and not too sharp or analytical. Also, you're getting really good dynamics and emotions without additional without adding extra dynamics that is not present in the record. So probably it's not the player where you need to go for best remasterings or something like that, but in general, if you want to play these games, you can try different remasters. Sometimes you can hear the difference. Imagery stage is above average, not super huge, but really well built both in width and in depth. Not some kind of holographic effect, but sounding pretty pleasant. So let me find something to demonstrate mid frequencies. Let's go for the Bon Jovi, and It's My Life, a great example. It's a huge stadium banger, and actually it's even too loud with these headphones. So nice guitars, forward vocal, lot of energy, good resolution, but at the same time it doesn't sound disjoint or separated into thin slices. And the high frequencies are also pretty good. Of course, don't expect some audiophilic layering, but basic overtones are really well executed. and advanced overtones are on the nice level too, meaning that you get pretty natural instrument sound, and at the same time player balances energy in the high frequencies really well without being overly sharp or overly softening everything. So in these aspects it's a pretty well balanced representation. And here goes my favorite test tracks for the treble. I don't know, let's go for the Consider Me Gone by Sting and all these percussions, bells, tiny metal things that I don't even know how they are called. They are airy, they are well recorded, and this player delivers them pretty nicely. In terms of pairings, player is pretty versatile. It's pairings limited not by power, but more with let's call it level. I don't like this word, but still sometimes we can say about that. Of course, it's not created to be used with some high-end power-hungry planars or something like that, but still it delivers more than 200 milliwatts from the balanced output, which will be more than enough for all headphones that make sense with this player. And more important, it has a really good black background with low background noise, meaning that it will behave really well with sensitive IEMs, and most likely it will be used with sensitive IEMs. Speaking about the comparisons, first let's talk about Snowsky own players. Echo Mini and regular Echo, they have difference in the design in terms of materials, but in sound also regular Echo slightly better. It's a bit more fun colored, but at the same time it sounds more natural and engaging. And the Snowsky disc leaning slightly more towards a natural type of tuning compared to this player. Also in this segment we have High-B errors R22, probably about the same price, maybe slightly more expensive. R22 is a bit more weighty and bit better in macro dynamics. Here I like slightly more treble rendering. So also probably let's once again outline negative and positive sides. So negatives, it's lacking of codecs besides SBC, a bit slower UI, it also sometimes random file sort order, and also lacking of gapeless playback in some cases. For me, it's all not big issues, but some people can be disappointed by that. On the positive side, for this price, it's a great player in terms of overall feel, in terms of design, and it plays really well. It has a nice power, and also it has a pretty decent battery lifetime, in my opinion. So that's all about Snowsky Echo. Thank you for listening, thank you for your attention, and have a great day.